I'm back. No. Anyways, thought it'd be a really cool idea to make this video. As right now, I was talking to Dad last night, and he is saying they're getting pretty close to releasing this Engage album. Now, I'm really excited for this fucking album. Like, very excited. The last thing I heard of a recording of Dad, he was playing so fucking fast that it felt like the fucking song was gonna explode. So, I mean, I'm pretty fucking pumped to hear what they've done. I've heard some songs that Carla's written. She knows what she's doing too. So it's like, very pumped. So I thought a really cool idea for a video was to give you a brief history on Dad's releases and albums, and more my perspective on the whole thing, being that I'm a big fan of my dad's music and getting this pumped for this. I figured it'd be a really cool idea to give people information about the other releases and things that he's done if you're not aware of it. You might not know. Maybe you're like me and big fan of Dad, and it's like you get this new album and it's like, fuck, and you're waiting for the next one to come out, and it's like, right? Who knows? Anyways, yeah, so back in 1980, Dad was put on an album, or part of a band known as the Howard Brook Band, who released the Howard She Goin' album. The song Up in Size on that album became a #1 hit on the Woodstock radio station. Now, unfortunately for me, I went and I bought a copy of this album for $1 at Backstreet Records at one point, and I came home and I was all enthusiastic. I'm like, yeah, all these other songs, and then I listened to it and I was like, they're all not the same genre. Great songs, not the same genre. I'm not big on Celtic maritime style music. I'm big on rock, and that Up in Size song is a rock song, and it was fucking amazing. Anyways, maybe it was just, yeah, I'm not gonna get going here. I've already tried to record this way too many times, and it usually ends up 20 minutes, so we're just gonna do it really fast this time. No politics, no back and forth, no opinionated shit, just a bit of information about songs that my dad's been a part of, or bands, or anything like that, releases that that exist for you in case you're like me and you want more, right? Anyways, so I was about 5 or 6 or something like this. Dad worked on this 3-song tape. He had my Aunt Jenny and my Aunt Joanne sing, his sisters sing on the on these 3 songs. I think they're on all 3. I'm not sure. I don't know the statistics of this, and this isn't about statistics, and this isn't a fucking new age YouTube video. I'm not converting. Fuck you. I'm not doing it. Anyways, so yeah, I'm being sponsored by this. No. So the 3-song tape came out when I was a kid. I haven't seen a copy of it since my brother was a little kid, like really little. He was like 3 or 4, and he used to listen to it when he went to bed. And that's the last physical copy I had of it, because it was in Mom's collection. But if you're looking for any songs to hear off of that, you could look on my channel for the song Lifetime. That is the exact same recording. That's the same song. And I think that's the only one I released from it, I think. Anyways, moving on from that, when I was 16, Dad made this 16 song CD with this recording unit that he used at the time, which he still uses. It's a fucking amazing thing. Anyways, he recorded these 16 songs. He never really released it, but it's kind of like an inside joke of me and Dad and mine about the adventures of Rick Bartlett, which is what he called it. It was written on there, and he drew this little guitar. Anyways, Dad can draw, okay? Anyways, so the 16 songs on there, most of the songs that were released in promotion of the Bartlett and Kraft album back in 2015 or 2014, whenever I was releasing those weekly, most of those came from that. So like In the Game, The Next Step, stuff like that, all came from that release, or that, as I called it, a release, because I got a hold of it and I preserved it. So I'm huge on the idea of collecting up all my dad's songs and having every song that he did recorded. I'm a big fan of having them recorded and having at least a version of the song so that I can say, here's a song. Leading us to our next recording, which was the next one that was officially released with the cover and the whole 9 yards, which was genre No Stopping. In the band genre that Dad had pieced together with my cousin Rebecca, who sang. And no knock on her. She didn't appreciate the value of the music of those songs. Personally, myself, I got to hear all those songs before anybody got a hold of them. Just Dad writing them and playing them over and over again, and they were fucking awesome. So then the drummer and the bass player and Rebecca jumped in there, and like I said, no knock on Rebecca, because she did not appreciate the value of those songs. That's all I'm going to say. I can't listen to the genre album. I'm sorry. I can't. Anyways, moving on from that one, which is kind of like a Goldilocks thing. It's looking to me. You got the genre album, which was just too cold or too hot, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't right. Basically, the bed was too big or something. Then you go to the Bartlett and Kraft album. Now, the Bartlett and Kraft album was released in 2015. That's the one that has that cover that Dad wanted me to put on there. I get lots of knocking for that cover. That's what he wanted. And then I'm going to lead into this with, and try and be very concise with this and not be too much of a dick about it. But I believe Colton should have done what I did. It doesn't matter what you want. You should have done what Dad said to do. He's the expert. He's the guy who's been writing music for like 40, 50 years, whatever the hell it is. So he's the one who should have the say. So I don't know how much he pushed or anything because I wasn't around for a lot of that one. But I did live in the genre house, so I was a bit more involved in the hearing about all the stuff that was going on with that one. But with the Bartlett and Kraft one, I wasn't really around, and I was kind of doing my own thing. So I'm not really sure who decided to let Colton have 4 songs on that album, if it was just Dad or if Colton was pushing for it, but he shouldn't have. If the guy's told what to do, he does a really good job. Dad's idea for that album cover, I mean, I did a good job creating it, just, yeah. I won't get into it. Anyways, yeah. Billy Sherwood played the drums and the bass on it, and I loved the album for what it was. Outside of the songs with Colton on them, I did love like the songs that Colton wrote. Outside of those, I'm a huge fan. This We Know and Brighter Days. Brighter Days is probably my favorite on there, and Denise as well. Like there's other songs on there. I can't remember them now. It's been like 8 years. But anyways, it was a great album. I believed it was too cold, too cold or something. I won't try and twist a bad pun in there, but there's this band called Engage that Dad's in right now. And these musicians know what they're doing. And they're like Dad. The singer, Carla, has written a lot of songs. Carla knows what she's doing. So the bass player knows what he's doing. They all have an emphasis on music, which is kind of the point of making an album. Now, my cousin Rebecca, she was dedicated like Dad into the thing. Billy Sherwood, he was dedicated into the thing like Dad was. But Dad hasn't really had the pieces together like this many people of the band dedicated to doing a good job. And he's had some in the past album. The tape, in my opinion, the tape was great. The 3-song tape was perfect. And I believe it's because all of the pieces were there. Like the people who were involved on it wanted to do it and actually did a really good job. I believe this is the second time this has happened. Because, I mean, the Howard Brook album's good. So, yeah, maybe third time. This is the third time that this has happened, that the musicians actually care enough about music to actually create a good album. And I can't fucking wait. Because me and Dad were talking last night, and he said I've never heard any of these songs. He said that, like, normally, I always hear songs that Dad writes before they go on an album. That's the way it's always been, except for Up in Size. So normally I hear the songs, him playing them bare bones, and then he goes and plays them with bands or learns them with bands or produces them, all this other stuff. This is the first time that, in my lifetime, that he's actually wrote music that I didn't hear him just write on his own and come up with. So now he's going to have this album, and they're not all his songs. Some of them are Carla's and that kind of thing, and I think the bass player wrote one too. So I think, I'm not sure. I'll know when the liner notes come out. Like I said, I don't have the stats for you. I'm trying to make a quick video here just to promote the band and give a tip of the hat to them. You know what I mean? They sang me happy birthday when I was in a really bad spot, so that's awful nice of them. And also on a side note, Dad said they were talking about doing Some of a Kind the other day. I just started shaking my head. I'm like, that song's not fucking good enough to do. But anyways, you go ahead if you want to. If you want to make Some of a Kind a good song, you go to town. all the power to you. I'm not like Dad. Dad's really serious about music. I like music. I play around with it. I play around with the idea of music. Dad actually plays music and writes music and dedicated his whole life to it. So I mean, kind of a different level of seriousness. Because I'm similar to Colton or that kind of thing. If I'm told what to do, I know what to do. But I've written all kinds of songs. Most people just look at me and it's like, what the fuck is this? I don't know, I like to play. So anyways, and I see myself as like that little kid that's like tugging at their mom or at their dad, and like the dad's working with the monkey wrenches and stuff. It's like, hey dad, I'm helping too, kind of thing, with the little fucking monkey wrench or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I never took it as serious as dad did. And you don't claim yourself to be a master unless you do become someone old of that much reputation, accolades, and those kind of things. So I am very, very excited to see what dad's come up with Carla and Ray and the rest of the band. The fact that the Engage is who they are, have done a really good job and impressed me. I've heard songs Carla's done, so I mean, like, they know what they're doing. I'm pumped. So as a nod or a tip of the hat to them, you rule, Engage. And yeah, I can't wait to see your album. So, and yes, you can play around with anything I come up with as much as you want. And I won't recommend it. I always recommend that people approach my music with caution. And also, if Dad wants me to, at some point or whatever, because I have all these songs from all these albums saved. Everything. I have an archive of all my dad's music that I can get him to record. And if you really, yeah, you want to push him, get him to record all the other stuff that he's not recording. Like My Special Kind of Gift. Probably my favorite song he's never recorded. He might have a tape version of it somewhere. But yeah, Dad's got all kinds of music. Dig at him, poke at him, prod at him. He needs to record this music and he needs to play it. And I mean, if he's got a great band to do it, we can record their music too. Get in there, right? Anyways, I love yous. Yeah, I'm back. There'll be more videos and stuff. Take care for now.